great one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They fire this one quickly to Austin. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And Gay knocks this one through. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early. because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Mixon. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. All right, still makes a catch, even though it was tapped by the linebacker. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. Jonah Williams, former first-round pick, the guilty party. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
On one, ready?
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. T.J. Watt. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now it's Burrow. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. Adderley, he's going to hold on to this one. A touchback, and the drive will begin at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow. And he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Pickett will look to pass it. He gets it complete to Harris. And they'll work this down inside the 30. With his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Give every member of that unit a ton of credit for ripping off such a big gain there, because you don't get free for that many yards on a counter or misdirection without everybody selling the heck out of it.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. A carry here for the big tight end. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Pat Freiermuth taking it in from a yard out. And the Steelers have moved out in front. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
Here we go. 11 MT tank. 11 MT tank.
Now it's Burrow. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards that time.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks him, and the Steelers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. He's got this to Pickens. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And some room to maneuver. And they'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
That's caught. It's Austin left side. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the play and a first down. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on third down. Even better decision.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Trey Hendrickson.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They hand this off to Harris, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now a timeout coming here defensively. As on fourth down, may as well make him punt it. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. He hit his first, now this from 43. Gay's kick is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And the half will begin with a touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest, but now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Let's get set.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out of this third quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores and hope to come back and win this game.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
58 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now here's another carry for Harris. They find some open field here. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 48 yards. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They're going to run this with a tight end. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. Pickett going to keep it himself. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And Gay knocks this one through, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. With some complimentary football there. One side, your defense forces the fumble, and then they drive it down the field. Now, obviously, Charles, they wanted the touchdown, but at least they were able to drive it down and get 3 out of that.
Yeah, now we'll have to see how the other sideline responds because they had plenty of time during that field goal to think about that fumble and how they were going to react. What are they going to do when they get the ball back and try and make things a little bit better for their team?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Well, the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he's got room. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 157 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the second round. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll run again with Harris. Trucks over him. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's Harris. He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. When we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are most likely staring at a cold end of their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Burrow looking to pass. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Here we go.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Burrow on 3rd down. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Well, just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick six, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick six?
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. This safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. You start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Burrow will throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Desmond King picks it, and he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And at this point, maybe you say, you know, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't win their division but did earn a wild card berth. It does appear, however, that their season is just a few minutes away from ending in one-and-done fashion. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
12.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Here we go.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And now here is another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks him. And the Steelers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. The Steelers send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here now 3rd and 2. Now it's Burrow. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, they've got the